She was the quiet instructor everyone underestimated, until the day a hot-headed trainee wrapped his hand around her throat. No one expected what happened next, but when her old SEAL instincts kicked in, the entire room watched a transformation they would never forget. Before we begin, which part of the country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. Erin Calloway had always been the kind of instructor people misjudged, soft-spoken, composed, almost gentle in the way she carried herself, even in a room full of loud, restless cadets. She taught tactical judgment, conflict control, and discipline, but very few knew that she had once served among the ranks of the Navy's most elite. After surviving missions that never made headlines and graduating from a SEAL training pipeline so brutal that seasoned operators still whispered about it, she retired quietly, choosing a life of teaching over combat. But her past wasn't written on her face, so the new batch of recruits assumed she was just another civilian lecturer. And among them was Daniel Crow, 22, hot-blooded, impatient, and convinced he had nothing to learn from a woman half his size. The tension started the moment he walked in, arms crossed, smirk on his face, challenging every word she said with under-the-breath comments that made the rest of the class shift uneasily. Erin ignored it, until the day he didn't just challenge her authority. He crossed the line. In the middle of a decision-making drill, Daniel snapped. "You don't know anything about real combat," he barked, stepping toward her. Erin stayed steady, her hands behind her back, her voice calm. "Crow, that's enough. Step back." But the room went silent as he lunged forward and grabbed her throat with a single hand, pinning her against the table as gasps erupted in every corner. For a split second, no one moved, because Daniel thought he had already won. He thought she was defenseless, and that's exactly when he made the biggest mistake of his life. Erin didn't panic. She didn't even blink. Instead, something ancient, something cold, methodical, and razor-sharp switched on inside her. The cadets later said they saw her eyes change, as if her mind had snapped into a world only SEALs knew. In one breath, Erin shifted her weight, planted her heel behind Daniel's knee, and twisted her torso with an efficiency so precise it didn't look real. Daniel hit the floor so hard the table rattled, and before he could inhale, his arm was bent behind his back and her knee was pressed between his shoulder blades, locking him in place with terrifying ease. The entire class froze. No one had even seen her move. But Daniel wasn't done. Rage fueled him, and he tried to roll out, pushing upward with brute strength. Erin adjusted instantly, sliding him into a choke restraint without even breaking her posture. He tapped, frantic, desperate, until she released him just enough to let him breathe. The room erupted, but Erin didn't raise her voice. She simply stood, hands still steady, and told him to sit back down. Daniel's pride shattered, but his anger didn't. The next day, he requested a private meeting, claiming he wanted to clear the air, but Erin sensed something else, a storm behind his eyes. When he entered the empty training room, he shut the door a little too firmly. "I looked you up," he said. "You were one of them." Erin remained quiet. "My brother," he continued, "served under a SEAL team instructor in Coronado. He said she saved his life. Said she disappeared after some mission went wrong." Erin swallowed, her posture softening. She remembered the mission. She remembered his brother. "You're angry at the wrong person, Daniel," she whispered. His expression cracked, revealing something she hadn't expected: shame, fear, and a pain so tightly coiled he had nowhere to put it but into anger. That moment changed everything. For the first time, Daniel listened. Erin trained him privately: discipline, breathing control, fear management, the techniques she'd mastered not just to win fights, but to survive them. Slowly, Daniel became the most improved cadet in the class, and he never laid a hand on anyone again. One afternoon, as the class gathered around for another drill, Daniel stepped forward and bowed his head slightly. "Thank you," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Erin nodded once. "Strength," she told the class, "isn't in how hard you hit. It's in how well you control the moment." No one underestimated her after that, and Daniel emerged not as the troublemaker who grabbed a teacher's throat, but as the student who was transformed by the one woman whose SEAL training had taught her how to break men and how to rebuild them. And that, the cadets would say for years to come, was the day their respect for her became unshakable. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this story. Make sure to subscribe. Your support helps me create more powerful, dramatic stories like this. So hit that subscribe button and become part of the family.